Gotham Knights is a game that I have been looking forward to for quite some time now, and despite what some reviewers are saying about the game, I'm generally having a good time with it, despite the fact that there has been some woke moments in this game that had made me cringe so goddamn hard, I almost gave myself a goddamn stroke. And that is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Before I start this, let me just say I have not beaten the game yet. I believe I am a couple of hours away from finishing it, but I have done kind of a lot of the extra stuff in it. These moments here, they're in the form of kind of collectibles of text, but they're still really goddamn cringy. And the first thing I'm going to show you here is from one of the collectibles you can get, that is Bruce's audio log. And in this one here, he's talking about the two people that knows his identity, which is Jim Gordon and Lucius Fox. And this is what Lucius Fox had to say about him being Batman. Justice defined by a white man with wealth and power is hardly justice. It's a crusade. Like, you know, I would be fine with this, right? I would have completely glossed over it if it had nothing to do with this dude's race. If Lucius didn't say by a white man. Like, why would you have to include the race? Yeah, you're a white man, you're wealthy, and you're powerful. So it's not justice. So what you're doing is not justice. I don't get it. I mean, most of the judges, right, are white men, I believe. And usually when you're a judge, you get a pretty good income. So does that mean that judges all over the world can't define what justice is? Like it's this thing here. And the reason why I'm pointing this out is because why? Like, why would you just include that? Like, I've said this before, I will say it again, right? Imagine if it was anybody other than a white man, right? Imagine if he said justice is defined by a black man, right? People would lose their absolute shit. I have a rule that I follow when it comes to things like this, okay? If you swap out, say, the races of someone they're talking about, and if it sounds racist when you do that, then it is racist the original way that you had that phrased. But this isn't the only thing here. Like I said, this here kind of made me cringe. I'm like, why the fuck would you even include that in this game? Like, it makes no point at all. If you want to say just wealth and powerful, sure, whatever, right? Justice defined by wealthy and powerful man isn't justice, it's a crusade. Whatever, but saying, I don't know, that just rubbed me wrong, and I think that is, I think it's kind of woke with how they put that in there. I may be wrong, maybe you guys think otherwise. But the other thing here, if I can find it, is this one here's a doozy. Field trip right here. So in this email to Jason Todd, Barbara Gordon talks about going to a pride parade in costume. And then they go on and they talk about how acceptance is this huge good thing, how now more than ever in that it needs to be done. Like, come on, man. Like, I'll say this here. I will say this here. I don't care about the LGBT stuff. I think that if a story can't be told without that stuff in it, then it absolutely should be in it. I do not think that it's woke. When I think stuff crosses over into the wokeness line is when it's pretty much done for brownie points. And this is exactly what it was in this case. They just did this for brownie points. This story isn't about sexuality at all. It's about trying to stop the Court of Owls. And, you know, it's brownie points. It's obviously woke. When I read this, it's really obvious. I think everybody can see it, right? I think everybody can see that this was done simply for brownie points. Nothing else. And that becomes a lot more evident when I show you guys this. So I just pulled up this image here from not_V's Twitter profile. You can see kind of all the stuff they have here about going out with all the LGBT stuff in this game here. And if you look at this here, the little chat she had in the Discord, this is from Anna LeMay, and she is the Gotham Knights narrative director. She says this: Tim is bi in the comics, therefore Tim is bi in the game. It's not a huge plot point, it's just a part of who he is, and this comes up in the character interactions we have in the Belfry, within the scope of how narrow conversations would bring this up. Other NPC characters in this game also offer forms of representation in ways which reflect the world we live in. So let me be let me be clear about something, right? So I'm playing the game as Jason Todd. Not once has Jason Todd ever brought up any of the women he has slept with, any of his past relationships, anything like that. The only time he talks about relationships is with his relationship towards Batman and stuff like that. So this is why I say this is done for brownie points. So they're saying that Tim is bi in the comics, and therefore Tim is bi in the games. If I remember correctly, I may be wrong, I believe I read this somewhere, but the comic where Tim comes out as bi was one of the lowest selling comics that there was in the series. I think that just because Tim is bi in a handful of comics doesn't necessarily mean that he should be bi in the game, because I mean, there's a lot more comics where Nightwing isn't gay. You guys know what I mean? So I think kind of using that as an excuse to make a character bi in your game, just for brownie points, mind you, because this is exactly what it is for, is absolutely horrible. I am sure that if I was playing this game as Tim Drake, as Robin, there would be a lot more woke moments in this game. Now, I am eventually going to play through as him. I plan on playing through as every character just to see their interactions within the story, how it changes in co-op, and all of that stuff. Yet, despite these moments of wokeness, at least from Jason Todd's perspective, I'm still liking the game. I'm enjoying the game. I do not think it is enough to call it woke trash. Does it mean that this game is good? No, I wouldn't say so. You know, people are speaking, they don't like the game, so I'm confident to say that it's not a good game, but it's a bad game that I enjoy. And there is nothing wrong with that. One of the things that I will not do is I will not pretend that this game is a masterpiece. In case you guys didn't know, I'm Gamer Geek. And if you watched this long, why not hit that like button? Because it would really help a fella out, and I would greatly, and I mean greatly, appreciate it. I hope you guys have an amazing and wonderful day. Peace out.